Then God called to the man, "Where are you?" Not looking for his location where he's actually standing, but he's looking for his location mentally. Where do you see me now? God says, "Where do you see me now than how you used to see me?" And I'm going to prove that in a second. He replied, "I heard you walking in the garden, so I hid. I was afraid because I was naked." Now watch what God says. "Who told you that you were naked?" the Lord God asks. Whenever I was a kid, I had an imagination that went far as east went to west. So while I'm still a kid, my mindset is to the point that whatever happens or whatever you say, I'm believing it because I have a vivid and wide imagination. As long as Adam was in sync with God, there was nothing God can do or say that Adam wouldn't believe. There's nothing God could do or say to Adam that Adam didn't believe could come to pass because there was no boundaries, because the only boundary he had was the boundary that he had from God. So now when God says, "How do you know that you are naked?" that was a boundary that God had to set. But the thing is, he never told Adam that he was naked to start with. So he never gave him that boundary. So when he told him that, he said, "Have you eaten from the tree of fruit I commanded you not to eat from?" So that tells me right there that now my spongy mind to receive everything as a kid now is drawn in. Now I know that my father can't beat everybody. Now that I know my mother can't beat everybody. Now I know there's no such thing as McDonald's money. Now I know there's no such thing as Toys R Us money. Now, me being older, understand we were struggling. When you a kid, and if you struggling when you're a kid, you don't know if you're poor. You don't know if you're rich. You're a kid. You're just having fun. You're living your life and your parents are just guiding and protecting you. So now that you're older, now you understand all these boundaries because now the system has set into you and everything has programmed you so you can understand boundaries. Now Adam understands all his boundaries because his consciousness has came in. If he did not understand his boundaries and this wouldn't have happened, it would have been a forever thing. But now God must set him up because now if you understand this, you can understand this and live forever and not have any kind of boundaries. You want to be wild. You know what? I got to show you that. Then the Lord God said, "Look, the human beings have become like us, knowing both good and evil. What if they reach out, take fruit from the tree of life and eat it? Then they will live forever." So the Lord banished them from the Garden of Eden and sent Adam out of to cultivate the ground from which he had made. Check chapter 4, verse 1. Now Adam had sexual relation with his wife Eve and she became pregnant. When she gave birth to Cain, she said, "It's with the Lord's help I have produced a man." I'm stopping right there for a second. Everything I read up to chapter 4, remember that there is a fall that just happened. So when the fall happens, the sin comes in, there's the curse, and then there's the fallen nature, there's the kingdom that's lost, and when the kingdom that's lost, everything is turned upside down on his head. How are you going to say the kingdom was lost when we didn't know we lost? We even had a kingdom to start with. We read chapter 3, right? Let's go to chapter 1 real quick, and let's read verse 26, and I'm going to go back. It says, "And God said, let us make man in our own image, after our likeness, and let them have dominion over the fish, over the sea, over the fowl of the air, and over the cattle, and let all over the earth, and over every creeping thing that creepeth upon the earth." And let me go down to verse 28. "And God blessed them and said unto them, Be fruitful, multiply, replenish the earth, subdue it, have dominion over the fish." He tells them about the dominion all over again. The fish of the sea, over the fowl of the air, over the living things that move upon the earth. No dominion over people. Giving you rulership authority. He wants you to rule. He wants you to take care and handle earth. So the birth in chapter 4, verse 1, lets me know that everything that happened from the dominion to the fall, when we lose dominion, happens before the birth. So when the child comes into play and everything that's in Adam, because Adam is the first child, we are automatically born into sin. Psalms 51:5 says, "For I was born a sinner, yes, from the moment my mother conceived me." Everything happened right there at that moment. So if there was not the fall and they had the children already, they would not have to be where we were born into this sin. So everything that happens now that has to do with sin, everything that has to do with homosexuality, everything that has to do with anything that is not like God happened already because we were born into it. So if we are born into it, you must understand that you have to have a way to get out of it. And the only way you can get out of it is you have to find out what you are missing. So this stops every conclusion, every thought that what I'm born into, this is just the way my parents made me. This is the way I was. No, you're mixing your iniquity, what you were born and shaping like with culture. Your culture makes you do one thing, but sin makes you do something else. You were born and shaped to do any thought imagined to mankind because you have no boundaries because you're under a fallen system.